Okay. So we've had the request for clearing the head and core. So let's get to it. All right, we're going to start laying down on the back. And be comfortable. So if you need to support yourself in any way with any props, feel free. I like a blanket under my head and neck. I like to also have my knees bent to support my low back. So just see how you feel. If you're good laying down flat, that's fine. If you want to have any support, then please use that. Let's just take a few moments here to breathe extra deep. So breathe in through the nose and then exhale out of the mouth with a sigh. Nobody's around, nobody can hear you. Just and do two more like that. Full breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale and exhale. And then just a nice, easy, deep breath. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling out of the mouth. One thing that really helps me clear my head when I come into my practice is to first check in. So kind of just take your mind's eye, eyes are closed, but take your mind's eye and just kind of scan down the body. Feel what you feel. So even just feeling the shoulders, seeing if they're feeling a little tight. Feel the chest open. Feel the belly. We were talking before class, it is what it is. The core is there. It's in there deep. We'll find it today. Just feel the backs of the arms and hands on the floor beneath you. Feel the bottom of the feet down on the floor, or the backs of the legs on the floor if the legs are straight. And then take your awareness, your mind towards your breath. So just notice the breath coming in through the nose. And then when you exhale, it's out of the mouth, but not through the lips like you're blowing a bubble, but more towards the back of the throat like you're fogging your sunglasses. And then one thing that really helps me keep my mind completely focused on my practice, helps keep the mind from wandering to things that I have weighing heavy on me, is to add a count to your breath. I like to just keep it at 4. So inhaling to the count of 4 and exhaling backwards from 4 to 1. So inhaling your own pace and exhaling, counting backwards your own pace. 4, 3, 2, 1. So it just helps keep the mind really present, focused on the breath, helps the nervous system relax. And then from here, let's gently hug the knees into the chest. And anytime we're in a pose that we're holding and we're still and you notice your mind start to drift, take it back to that count. Focus on the breath to that count of 4 and try to bring your presence and your awareness to right here. Okay, so the knees are going to dry in. We're going to feel the back kind of open up at the low back. And then just rock left to right a little bit. We'll make some circles with the knees in one direction and then the other. And then we're just going to lift the feet up towards the ceiling. Point and flex the feet. You can make some circles with the ankles. And just leave the legs there as we take the arms up overhead. Tops of the hands reaching for the floor behind you. Feel the rib cage expand. Feel the space between your shoulder blades and the low back. So just pause here. We'll take a full deep breath in and then exhale out of the mouth. Hug the knees into the chest. If you'd like to lift your forehead to your knees, you can. Inhaling, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees in. And just one more time like that. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees in. Just getting into the hamstring a little bit. The left foot is going to come down to the floor. Interlace your hands behind the right thigh. Let's start by pushing the thigh into your hand. So you feel your whole leg moving forward. Your arms go straighter. Your shoulders pull down away from the ears. We'll take the left leg. Let the left leg go straight along the floor. Pause here for a moment. And then we're gently going to lift the head and upper back off the floor. Tuck the chin down towards your chest and draw the belly down. So you're trying to pull the muscles in the belly down. And then we'll walk the hands a little bit higher up on the right leg. Soften your elbows and pause here. So you're lengthening the back of the right leg. If you'd like to add a little more to the pose, you can let your left leg hover off the floor. Again, pull the shoulders down away from the ears. Relax the shoulders and elbows. Belly button draws down as if it's trying to get into the spine, into the floor. Take a full deep breath in. And then exhale, relax, let the left leg come down, head come down, hug the right knee into the chest. We're going to extend the right leg up again, interlacing your hands behind the thigh. Try to get the leg to get a little bit longer. And then we're just going to go left to right with that leg. So you're just kind of swaying a little bit left to right. You can unclasp the hands and pass the leg back and forth. So you're going to pass the leg over to the left hand, let it reach across. We'll come back to the center, pass the leg to the right. I like to have the opposite hand on the hip. So just back and forth. You can pause for a few breaths on one side if you'd like. My leg is over to the left here. My right hand is pushing my right hip away from my body and down. My right shoulder staying down. And pause here for a moment just to open the IT band. If I come up and over to the right, my left hand is on the left hip. I'm reaching the right heel away from the right hip. Maybe the leg moves back a little bit, the toes reaching towards the space behind your head. Or maybe you want to just reach the leg a little bit more down as it's open. So whatever feels good for you here. We'll take a few more breaths, pausing wherever you'd like. And then your next inhale will bring the leg back to center. Exhale, we'll hug the knee into the chest. We're going to drop the right foot down to the floor. Left leg reaches up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the left thigh. Starting here, you're just going to push your thigh forward. Arms are straight. Pull the shoulders down. So we're getting length in the spine and the shoulders, and we're grounding down through the back. Right leg will go straight along the floor. Pause here for a moment. Breathing with ease. Here we're going to lift the head and upper back off the floor. Tuck the chin, soft elbows. Again, trying to draw the belly down. So it's not just the center of the core, but also on the sides. Belly draws down. We'll walk the hand Hands a little higher up on the legs, soft elbows. Pause here. If you'd like to lift the right leg and let it hover off the floor, you can. Deep, easy breaths here. We'll take one more full breath in. And then as you exhale, relax the right leg. We're going to hug the left knee into the chest. Relax the head down. Pause here for a moment. Relax the left ankle and foot. And then we'll take the left leg back up again. Both hands holding onto the thigh to start. Start little as you sway left to right. So you're using the thigh bone to move in the hip socket, just left to right. And then maybe you release the clasp. Right hand can come onto the right hip as the left hand supports the left leg over to the left. When you come back to center, you can switch hands. The left hand can come onto the left hip and your right hand can support your left leg on the right. So just kind of go back and forth here. Pausing anywhere that feels a little tight. Feeling your back stable on the floor. Chest is open. And just back and forth, but pausing to take a few breaths anywhere you'd like. So if you want to stay on one side for a few, you can. Let's just pause and breathe. Maybe you like the feeling of moving back and forth. So on your next inhale, we'll bring the leg back up to center. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest. So we're going to place the left foot down on the floor and we're going to come into a figure four. Right ankle crosses over the left leg above the knee. Draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder as you hold on to the back of the left thigh. And we're just going to pause here, just releasing that right hip joint a little bit. Count your breath. You can do a body scan, check in. Notice the muscles around the face, notice the shoulders. Let's let go of tightness and tension that we may be carrying in the hip. We're going to take a nice full deep breath in and a full deep breath out. As you release, we'll let the left foot come down to the floor. Right thigh crosses over the left thigh. We're going to scoot the hips over to the right about an inch or two. Let the legs drop over to the left. Arms reach away from each other. Just release the low back. Close the eyes. Let the weight of the legs release the low back. Stay open through the chest. Feel the rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. One more full breath in here in the twist, and then as you exhale, bring the legs back to center, uncross them, even out the hips, take the left ankle over the right leg, and draw the right knee into your right shoulder. And then pause here. Try to really relax. Relaxing through the neck. Shoulders are away from the ears. right knee is gently pulling in towards the right shoulder. Releasing any tightness that we're holding on to in the hip. They do say that the hip is the junk drawer, the emotional junk drawer in the female body. That that's where we hold all of our negative energy, depression, anxiety, tension, stress. So hip openers not only help us feel better physically, but should feel like a nice mood lifter. Maybe not yet, but maybe later in the day we'll feel a little lighter, a little happier. Take one more breath in here, and then as you exhale, let's release the right foot down. Left thigh crosses over the right thigh, hips scoot over to the left, legs drop over to the right, arms reach away from each other. Feel the left shoulder blade pressing down, the left knee reaching away from the left hip. And then as you breathe in, you're lengthening the whole left side of the rib cage. And then when you breathe out, just let go. Take one more full breath in the twist, and then as you exhale, let's come back to center. Uncross the legs, we'll even out the hips, hug the knees into the chest. Let's take 3 breaths together here. As you inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Option to lift the forehead to the knees. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug it in. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees in. Here we're gonna cross one ankle over the other. We'll rock front to back a little bit, and then make your way up to sit, and we'll sit cross-legged. So sitting cross-legged, if you're uncomfortable in the back or the hips, you can sit up on something. Otherwise, just feel grounded down through the hips, lengthened through the core, through the spine. So we're gonna work the muscles in the core a little bit, but working the sides. So I guess people call these love handles. I hate them, but I guess they are love handles. So let's work the sides of our body here. So we're gonna inhale, reach the arms up overhead. As you exhale, we're gonna twist to the left, but you're not gonna use your hands. So your left hand comes behind you, right hand reaches to the outside of the knee, but you're not touching it. So in order to get this twist, you need to pull your belly in and use the muscles to turn. Good. Inhale, up and over with the hands. Exhale. Right hand behind you, it's not touching the floor. Left hand hovers outside the knee. Twist. Pull the belly in using the muscles to turn, not using the hands. Inhale up, relax the belly as you come up. Exhale, turn to the left. Turn a little bit more. Where is that turn coming from? The muscles are there. You just need to dig deep. That's where the turn is coming from. Next, inhale, up. Exhale, turning to the right. Pull the belly in. Turn a little bit more. You're not using your hands. Good. One more time each side. Inhale up. Exhale over to the left. Pull it in and turn. One more time to the other side. Inhale up. Exhale right. No hands. Go a little deeper in your twist. Beautiful. Inhale, arms come up. Lean back, soles of the feet come together, come down to the floor, reach forward, hold on to the feet, and just hang in a forward bend. Just hang here. Relax through the shoulders, relax the neck. You can sway left to right to stretch out the back a little bit. We're going to come back to center. You're going to bring your feet onto the floor. You're going to hold on underneath the knees and we're just going to lean back. So you're leaning back, you're lifting your feet. Your shins are parallel to the floor. We're going to lift the hands. Hands aren't higher than the shoulders yet. Lift the chest. So as if someone has a string right here and they're pulling the chest up a little higher, lengthening through the spine. We're going to take the hands a little higher, a little more open, a little wider. Lift the chest a little higher. Pause here. Breathe. Take a deep breath. Exhale, soles of the feet together. Reach for your ankles and then slowly come down, fold. Relax the back. Head hangs. Maybe go a little deeper, bring the chest a little closer to the floor. And then let's slowly make our way up. So we're going to come on to hands and knees. If you need any extra padding underneath the knees, feel free to place a folded blanket there. So we're going to start on hands and knees. Knees are underneath the hips. Wrists are underneath the shoulders. We're going to take 3 breaths here. As you inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, and lift the chin. As you exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, tops of the feet pressed down. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. One more just like that. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. From here, come back to neutral spine. Left foot goes back. Left heel lifts. Nice, strong back leg. Pull your belly button in towards your spine as your right hand reaches forward towards the front of the room. So really try to engage the muscles that you're feeling here. You might feel the sides, the center, the muscles supporting your back. Maybe lift your center and low back a little higher. So what muscles are engaged when you have to pull that in and up? It's almost like a zipper from your belly button up to the bottom of your bra. You just want to zip that right in and up. Really on the exhale, that's when you'll feel the core engage a little bit more. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left toes find the floor behind you, right foot pivots to the right, roll to the pinky side of your left foot, left hand reaches up. So we're gonna work the muscles of the core a little bit here. We're going to keep the left foot down. You have options. You can either lift your right knee, keeping the right foot down for support. You can lift your right knee and your right foot, or you can cross your right ankle in front of the left. Hips sag down a little bit, lift them up. Hips sag down, lift. 3 more like that. Hips go down a little, and then they lift. 2 more. Hips move down, lift. 1 more, just like that. Hips go down, lift. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, left hand comes down, both knees come down, Child's pose. Let your hands rest by your feet. Let the head hang. Relax your wrists, sway left to right. Breathing deeply here. So reconnect. Feel the forehead grounded down. Shoulders are completely relaxed. Open up the space between your shoulder blades. Feel the length in your spine. You're grounding down through the shins and the tops of the feet. And staying open in the back. Let's take one more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's come on back up. I could stay in child's pose for a lot longer than that. I love it. Okay, coming back to neutral spine. Moving the spine straight and back. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift. This is really good for the spine. Exhale, tuck and round. It gets the spinal fluid to move and create space in between each vertebrae. One more time, drop the belly and lift as you inhale and exhale, tuck and round. Neutral spine, right foot reaches back, flexed back foot, all 5 toes pointed down. Take your hand on your low back for a second, your left hand, back of the hand on your low back. You want to press your low back into your hand to lift it an inch or two. How is it getting there? Pull the belly in and up like you want to touch your belly button towards the bottom of your bra. Pull it in and up. Good. Left hand reaches towards the front of the room. We were talking at the beginning of class that it's hard to find our core. So I'm just trying to give little different cues, little different suggestions on how you can try to find it and feel what you are trying to feel. I know it's hard. So breathe here. Again, if your belly is down and your low back is arched, pull the low back up. Good. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, left hand comes down. Right toes find the floor behind you. We'll pivot the left foot to the left. We'll roll to the arch of the right foot. And we'll take the right hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, so modified is lifting the knee, left knee, but the left foot is down. The top of that foot is there. Or you can lift the knee and the foot. Or you can cross your left ankle in front of the right. Either way, inhale, lift the hips. We're going to exhale, let them sag down a little bit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down a little. Inhale, lift. 3 more. Down, lift. Hips move down a little bit. Lift. Last one. Hips move down. Hips lift. Pause. Open the chest. Full breath in. And then exhale. Well-deserved child's pose. Knees can come together. Big toes touch. Forehead down. Arms behind you. Head on the ground. Catch your breath. Check in. Reconnect to the breath. Inhaling through the nose to the count of 4. Exhaling through the mouth, back of the throat, backwards from 4 to 1. Okay, from here, we're gonna come up onto hands and knees. We're gonna step the right foot back and the left foot back. So you're at the top of a push-up. If you need to drop your knees, you can. So you can do the same thing that we're doing now with the knees on the floor. So again, feel your low back reaching up, but not the hips lifting up. So it's not this, it's not the hips lifting. The hips stay right where they are. It's the low back. So you're just trying to take your belly in and up. Keep that engaged if you can. Lower your right forearm down, lower your left forearm down. Pause here. Again, hips stay where they are, but you want to bring your belly button towards your spine. Right hand comes on the floor, left hand comes on the floor. Pause here. Knees can come down anytime you need to. Other side. Left hand comes down, forearm, right forearm comes down. Pause here and breathe. Lift the hips, lower the hips, but not lower than where you started. Lift the hips, lower the hips. Let's do 3 more. You can do it. Lift the hips, lower, lift the hips, lower. One more. Lift and lower. Pause. Breathe. And then drop the knees. Make a pillow with your hands. Let your forehead rest on your hands. Bend your knees. Windshield wiper left to right. Relax the low back. So the core is not just the belly. It's the muscles that support your spine. And it's also the muscles on the sides of the body. So we're going to get a little bit into the low back here. And not trying to do a back bend. We're not stretching the low back. We're strengthening the muscles that support the low back. So the tops of the feet come down on the floor. Hands stay where they are, stacked on top of each other underneath your forehead. And we're going to move with breath. First set is keeping the tops of the feet down on the floor. As you inhale, lift. So you're lifting your head, hands are attached, elbows are out to the side, lifted, and your exhale is lower. This is very slow and very controlled. Lift. When you lower, just hover. Don't let your hands touch down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, but you're just hovering. It doesn't completely come down. 2 more, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, but you're hovering. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, you can come down. Okay, the next round of this, we're going to add the legs. But when you come down, don't completely come down, just hover. So inhale, lift, you're lifting the legs, you're lifting the head and the arms. Exhale, lower, but everything's hovering, it's not on the floor. Inhale, lift, you float up. Exhale, drift down, slow and controlled, do not touch the floor if you can. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Hover. Last one. Lift. Lower. Hover. And then come all the way down. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs left to right. Just take a few breaths here. You can even make some circles with the legs. Okay, so the next pose we're coming into is not easy. It's a variation of a forearm plank. It's going to work the same muscles that we used when we were seated and doing that twist. So we're gonna come up onto forearms. Curl the toes under, lift the knees. Okay, your forearms and elbows are staying down. You're gonna roll to the pinky side of your right foot and the arch side of your left foot. Both forearms stay down. Lift the hips, lower the hips, not all the way down. This is just like an inch. Lift, lower, lift, lower. Two more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Use the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Right to the other side. This is really hard. I know it's not easy. Roll to the pinky side of your left foot, arch of your right foot. You want to lift your right elbow so badly, but please don't. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, lower. This is just about an inch or two. Inhale, lift. It's tiny. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Tiny, about an inch. Exhale, lower. Last 2. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last 1. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Back to center. Toes down. Belly's in and up. 3 breaths, and then I promise we're done. Inhale, crown of the head is forward. Exhale, push your heels back. Inhale, crown of the head is forward. Exhale, heels back. One more time. Inhale, crown of the head forward. Exhale, hips back. Drop the knees. Child's pose, any version of. Arms can be out in front or behind you. And I meant we're almost done with core, not done with class. Relax the shoulders, lengthen the spine. Sway left to right. You can take your hands behind you if you'd like and interlace the hands and reach the knuckles up. Just getting a little bit into the shoulders. Maybe you lift the hips and roll onto just the top of your head. See how that feels? You can roll down and roll up. This is really good if you get tension headaches. Just rolling the front of the head to the center of the head. Keep the neck neutral. And then when you're ready to release child's pose, let the arms go. Let's come up onto hands and knees. Over to one side with the hips. Send your legs around to the front. Let your back come down to the floor and lay down. Hug the knees into the chest. Rock left to right. So this part of the practice, we're going to get a little bit deep into the hips and try to let go of some of the tension and worry that we talked about before class that a lot of us are experiencing now. So let's just take the feet down to the floor for a moment. We're going to bring the inner soles of the feet together and let your hips open, knees open. Let your hands rest on your belly. Eyes are closed. So we're here opening up through the hips. Opening up around the heart center. and opening up the mind so that we can let go of some of the things that we're worried about or stressed about. We talked about at the beginning before class about just feeling an underlying sense of sadness, just kind of grieving and mourning over our regular life and just missing the things that we miss. And just take a moment to think about some of those things that you miss. It's okay to bring them up and feel them. It's normal to miss seeing our friends or miss just being able to hug people, miss practicing with people in life, in the studio, miss our kids seeing their friends, whatever it might be. And then we're just going to take that and just put it to the side right now. And instead, just for a couple moments, let's bring up some of the positive things that you might have experienced that you wouldn't normally experience if we weren't going through this difficult time. Maybe you've learned to do something new. Maybe you've bonded with your children or your spouse or your doggy a little bit more than you normally would have. Maybe you're eating yummier food or drinking nice wine or whatever you have been able to do that you don't think you would have normally done. So sometimes we just need to get these positive thoughts flowing. It's easy to get stuck in darkness and in a hole. It's super easy to go there. And it's hard sometimes to get out, to get up, to get to the light. So the heaviness is to the side. It's not gone. We've just moved it to the side. And the lightness is here. Just fill up with those positive thoughts. And let's bring the knees together and hug the knees into the chest. We're going to bring the knees wide. And we're going to come into happy baby. So holding on to the outsides of the feet. So thinking about here, all those things that we were worrying about, they're in our junk drawer in the hips. That's where we put them. Around the mind is super light and positive, and around our heart is super light and positive. So we're going to do the deep work here to release that tension in the hips, to empty the junk drawer, to let that stuff go, and just try to be free of it, even if it's for the next 10 minutes. So we're going to let the left foot come down to the floor, the knee is bent. Bending the right knee, bending your right elbow, thinking about trying to draw your right knee down to the right side of your torso. We're going to let the left leg go straight along the floor, opening up the left hip flexor. The right toes move an inch to the wall behind you. Pause here. Easy breath. Count to 4 in. And empty. 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more breaths like that. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. From here, you're going to pass your right foot into your left hand. You're just going to hold on to the outside of your right knee. A gentle sway. The right foot goes over to the left, and then it just comes back a little bit. It doesn't have to go over to the right. It's not going over to the right. We're just going a little to the left, and then back to center. So the foot is kind of right above your face. A little to the left, and back to center. Depending on your flexibility, you can stay right here. Maybe bend your left elbow and start to draw your right foot towards your left shoulder. Stay right here. Maybe you sway left to right a little bit there. If you want to go deeper and you think you can take your right foot, place it in the crook of your left elbow, right knee in the crook of your right elbow, interlace the hands and sway. This is a deep reclined pigeon. Don't feel like you have to be here. We'll take one more full breath in, and then as you exhale, let that right leg go straight along the floor. Inhale, arms up overhead. Full body stretch. Lengthen through the belly. Relax through the back. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, one knee at a time, bend and place the feet on the floor and then hug the knees into the chest. Knees go wide. Happy baby. Pause. You have an empty junk drawer on the right. It should feel nice and free. The right foot comes down to the floor with a bent knee to start. Let's bend the left elbow, left knee, trying to make its way down towards the left side of your torso. Right leg goes straight along the floor. Let that hip flexor relax. Maybe move your left toes towards the back of the room a little bit. Pause here, breathe. Full breaths. Inhaling to the count of 4, exhaling, just if the counting helps. If it's annoying, then don't worry about it. From here, we're going to take the left foot, reach it over to your right hand, just support your left knee, and just a gentle sway. This is just small. It doesn't need to be this huge movement. Nice and small, just letting the blood flow back through the hip, because when we're over in that held deep pose, the blood is not flowing as deeply as we would like when it's straight. So this is just building up the blood flow. Just let it flow a little bit here. And then if you'd like, you can start to take your left foot a little bit more towards your right shoulder. If you want to go deeper, left foot into the right elbow crease, left knee into the left elbow crease. You don't have to go this deep. Just try to breathe and relax. This is a really nice way to nourish the hip joint by making it difficult for the blood to flow, and then release. Let that left leg go all the way straight. You've opened up the hip so the blood can flow. Arms reach up overhead. Just pause here. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, just bring the arms down by your sides. Flip your palms so the tops of your hands are on the floor. You can stay just like this for Shavasana. If you need to adjust and have the knees bent, you can. Let's just close the eyes. Relax the body. No need to use the muscles in your core for anything. Just let the belly naturally rise and fall as you breathe. Feel nice and open in the hip flexors and the hips. Hopefully the mind has gotten just a little quieter, a little less cluttered with worry. And just remembering that it's okay to go dark and be sad. But try not to stay there too long. And a really nice way to get yourself out is simply just put those things to the side and then consciously bring to your mind's eye and to your heart center and to your awareness some positivity. Whether they're positive words, positive images, feeling words, people, whatever it is that you can find to fill up and feel better. Just take a few more breaths here, being still and being quiet. Let's begin to bring some small movements into the hands and feet. You can move the head and neck. And then we'll slowly and gently transition the body out of Shavasana. We'll gently make our way up to seated. We'll bring the palms together in front of your heart center to honor your practice and honor each other. And remember that we are all connected. Not only are we here with each other, but we're here for each other. Namaste.